I would say a majority of our employees came back to work this week. We're working, getting them back into the flow of things, being used to be here in the office. A lot of our crews that we were working on reduced schedules, we brought the crew, all the crews back. We're working on a staggered schedule now, but all working the same day. And so far, so good. It actually ended up being really good timing that we had everyone back, because when the storm hit, we ended up having the extra help that we really need to have in the event of a storm. So the employees are doing pretty good. They've really worked hard to try and make sure that all of the essential services and all of the services that the city provides, as much as possible, could continue without interruption. I had a lot of review about what we expect to see in lost revenues. Sales tax revenues are going to be down. Water usage is down. Some of our major industries are not in operation, so the amount of water that's being used is down. But the biggest thing that we're focused on is our general fund with the expected losses in revenue for sales tax. We've done some modeling, and it shows that we're likely in a anywhere from a $5 million to about an $11.5 million shortfall. That may not be worst case scenario. We really don't know how quickly the economy is going to come back. So we've made some decisions that we're going to use reserves. We're also going to try and make some changes within our staffing, and potentially, just as I took a pay reduction, there will be potentially some others that we'll need to eventually. And so we're analyzing all of those possibilities in order to help with, besides all the budget changes that we're making to reduce spending, there's a lot more that we're going to have to consider as we go forward. When we get hard numbers, we'll be able to tell better how far we're going to have to go. 10th Street from Fairlawn to Wanamaker's been closed. Been working on the utilities. Now we're getting ready to transition over into working on the street coming up. We've got a number of other projects that are in the works. We still plan to do all of the projects that we intended to do when we entered this year. And so those projects, some of them are being let and moving forward and scheduled. And so I think we're going to have a really good construction year. And I think that we'll be happy at the end to be able to say we've increased our pavement condition. We have looked at a couple of our projects that we've allowed more time for the bidders to go through the process of preparing their bid, because it's been harder for them to contact their suppliers and get the information. We have delayed the opening of some of the, putting out of some of the bids for some of the mill and overlay projects. But we're basically doing that just to confirm that we're going to be okay with regards to revenues for those. We fully intend to do those projects. We just put them on a slight delay in order to make sure that we're in a good shape as we enter into it. Some of the future projects that we're working on, we continue to work on the 12th Street project running from Kansas over to Gage. That's still a project that we'll be working towards doing next year. Continued work in various areas. I know California is a project that's coming up, some more work, California from 37th to 45th. Right now we're also still continuing to work towards the accomplishment of setting ourselves up for working on Polk Quincy Viaduct and getting that project, that major project, on the list with the Kansas Department of Transportation.